17th, 2015 Ayer Board of Selectmen meeting. Before I look for a motion to approve the agenda or make any revisions, we still have the winter parking ban in effect. Very important to keep the cars off the road, especially during snowstorms. And just remind everybody of that. Having said that, anybody else have anything? Any agenda amendments, Robert?
Say no.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye, that was easy. Anybody here for public input? Mary?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like you to hit people in their pocketbook and start fining them when they don't shovel out the fire hydrants because the DPW has gone down and plowed out or dug out most of them.
Yeah.
And yet people go back and just plow over it. How about people that park on the street because they've got 3 cars where there's 2 spaces on their property, so I could give you one right now. And it's right out like this. How about people that are blowing the snow onto the street after the plows have been by?
I saw that yesterday.
Easy enough to see because the whole road up there is all covered with white. So I'd like you to start hitting them with a few fines and maybe they'll stop doing that. This is hard for everybody, but we're all trying to do our best, and when jerks like that.
Yeah, no,
That's the things.
is that that's in the bylaw? I mean, who enforces that? Would that be police?
Police.
Okay. And only police, right? I mean, obviously the DPW can make, to call the police department, but. And have they been, that you know of?
I will check, Mr. Chair, through you, the board, I will check with the chief of police and let
Okay.
him know.
Because I know in Shirley, they actually have a bylaw, you can't push snow across the street, no matter what. Like if you're plowing your driveway, you can't go to the other side. It's actually a finable offense, so I don't know what we have. But I agree with you, Mary. Unfortunately, there are some that pay no attention to fire hydrants and blowing the snow back on the street. So yes, we'll check with the chief and hopefully, but I agree. You hit them once, they tend to stop. All right, anybody else for public input? Okay. All right, we have the common vehicular's license for Union Coffee House, or Union Coffee, 25 Main Street. Are they present? Oh. Yes, please.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks for the sample. Oh, he didn't bring any.
Oh, we know. We're not open yet.
Denied.
Sorry, that was easy.
Good point, David.
You mind your own business.
So, welcome.
Thank you.
You guys must be excited.
We're extremely excited.
So, what's your opening date? What's your plan?
We're hoping for early March now. We were hoping for early February, but it might be better with all the weather anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
We've had a few delays because we are opening a coffee roaster, so there's a lot more that goes into it than just opening a
Sure.
place that's serving coffee. We're also going to be doing baked goods that I'm going to be making on site. So,
Great.
yeah. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be trying to serve as much local goods as we can. I know we already talked to 2 people from Shirley, gluten-free baked woman who makes gluten-free goods.
Oh, that's fantastic. My son has celiac, so that's...
Oh, that's good. Yeah, so we knew that's so important. I didn't know if I could do both, so I reached out to her and a granola place in Shirley as well, actually. So we're going to be serving those. We're trying to do local milk. We don't know if that's going to be affordable or not, but we're trying. Yeah, I'm not sure what else.
What do you think your hours of operation are going to be?
6 a.m. Opening time to get the commuter rail.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, and then probably 2 or 3
Mhm.
for closing time because we are opening on our own.
Sure.
So we're not going to have employees off the bat, but we assume we'll hire people.
Or a life for a while.
Yeah. Try to do it for a while on our own, but
Oh, good for you. Happy to have you. Hope it works out for you.
Yeah, sounds
you.
exciting.
I can smell the coffee now. It'd be better if I had some, but. You know, we welcome anybody who comes to town, and it's, hopefully it'll work out for you, and
Thank you. Yeah, we hope so.
seem like hard workers, and
Yeah, we've been working very hard. David
Yeah.
can attest to that.
you have a vision, and
Yeah, yeah.
hopefully we'll have a train station to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to say that.
Oh, I hope so too.
Well, now I forget what I was gonna ask. Oh, is this your first business?
It is our first business.
Oh,
yeah.
so it's even more exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I actually worked in customer service in a cafe actually for 5 years, and then various other places as well. So I've served a lot, seen the ins and the outs. It was an independent cafe in Boston, so I know how to deal with high volume and
High maintenance.
situations. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That one, high maintenance. Just so you know, when he comes in for his coffee, high maintenance.
I know how to cater.
Do you deliver?
No.
Right at the post office, come on.
We're right at 25 meters.
Oh, good one.
I was gonna make a motion to approve this,
She gave it right
Gary?
back at you.
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the common victuals license for Union Coffee, 25 Main Street, number 1. That's it.
Seconded.
All in favor? Gary?
Aye.
Janice?
Aye.
Chair says aye. Congratulations.
Thank you
And,
very much.
Obviously, you know David's very helpful, and if there's
Yes.
anything we can do to help, we'd be more than happy to.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All
Not a
right, good
problem.
luck.
Carrie, do you want to wait? I can make a copy, or do you want to come get it tomorrow?
I can run it down to you if you want.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, we'll do that. David can bring it down.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. All right, good luck to you
Good luck.
both.
Can't wait for
There's got a lot of potential there.
you to come by and take me down for a cup of coffee.
So next we're on to the, my favorite topic, the MBTA Depot Square. Robert, do you want to start, or would you like me to start? And I'll get worked up and you go first.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the board, I'll just give, if you will, the very brief fact pattern as to where it stands. As the board is aware, we were in the process, and when I say we, the transfer of the Depot Square land, which is owned by Mr. Berry, to the town of Ayer, is essential for the $4.2 million parking facility. Up until very recently, the MBTA, and I think it's important to note that really it's a property dispute between the MBTA and Mr. Berry.
Yes,
The
thank you
town,
for clarifying
the town of Ayer respectfully doesn't have when I say a chip in the game, we don't own any of the land. But what has happened over the last week has caused a lot of difficulty for the town and for commuters and impacted everybody. So at this time, the MBTA and Mr. Berry need to come to an agreement with respect to the Depot Square land. In that agreement, when I say come to an agreement, it has to meet certain transportation standards and measurements. They need to come to an agreement to that, and then that plan, designed by an engineer, drawn by an engineer, we went through this in December, would be submitted to the Air Planning Board as an A&R for their approval. Upon their approval, then that will sort of start a series of technicalities, if you will, that will allow the transfer of that land. The MBTA and Mr. Berry's attorney on January 21st were very close to an agreement. The MBTA had put out a counterproposal.
Second agreement.
The second agreement. That's a good point, Mr. Chairman. As this board is aware, in September of 2014, an agreed-to plan by all parties was put before this board. This board took a vote on that. Selectman Hillman, with authorization from the board as the chair, we had an on-site tour in October. Everybody was in agreement. Things changed in December. Why, I don't know. Mr. Berry's attorney submitted a different plan. So then on the 21st of January, the second a counterproposal was presented. Mr. Berry was not present at that meeting. A week was given for them to weigh in. They made another request on some footage on the entrance area. And we're very close to an agreement. The snowstorm started I've lost track with so many storms, but last Monday, in the big snowstorm, for the record, Chief Murray had contacted me at about 2 p.m. and said that there was a mountain of snow and a fence across the MBTA access to the platform. And it's important to note that legally the position of the town at this time, Depot Square is private property with MBTA easements on it, and that is right now that's still the egress and the access that commuters are familiar with. In fact, our DPW noticed that though there's that other eventually, which will be the to go around, that folks were actually going under the gate to then go through the traditional route. This happened in the middle of the storm. It caused a lot of confusion and issues and potential safety issues for commuters, not just from Ayer, but from the region. The MBTA was contacted, and the MBTA's position, and they did do this on February 11th, is that they will enforce their legal easements. And as the chair can attest, because you went down there about 5 p.m. on the 11th, the MBTA sent a piece of equipment, removed the snow barrier and the fence. The next morning, there were MBTA police present to enforce the easement. At this time, there's been a lot of back and forth between the town and MART and the MBTA and the state legislative delegation, and that I think it's important just to conclude to note that yes, the MBTA is, as we speak, is going to enforce the status quo, and that's great for commuters. But at the end of the day, what the town of Ayer needs to have happen is the MBTA and Mr. Berry to come to that agreement so we can move forward with the transfer of the land and move forward with the project. And I think the frustrating part for all those involved, including the board, is that the MBTA and Mr. Berry have yet to come to that agreement. So that is...
They don't speak. That's the issue. It's mind-boggling.
Right. And so when I say the update as of February 17th, also to compound the issue, as we can all appreciate to some extent, I mean, the Metro MBTA is facing unprecedented challenges with the trains being shut down going into the city, the red line, but that all aside, the most important thing is, and this will be my final point on this, that what is at stake is a $4.2 million transportation improvement project that not only benefits the town of Ayer and the commuters and the region, but, and he can disagree, but also benefits Mr. Berry in that if accepted, the MBTA will remove its easements from his property, which are in effect until about 2062, and there's value to that. And the project incorporates an aesthetically well-designed boundary for his property.
There'll be no access through his property
Right,
whatsoever.
and this would then provide a direct lit access as well as increased parking for the train station. I wish I had more to update. We have been trying to contact Mr. Boyle from the MBTA and have not been able to connect with a further update. But in the end, until those two parties come to an agreement, and I know that the task force has been very helpful in contacting the MBTA as well, this board, we don't have more of a substantive update. One thing I would respectfully recommend that the board consider is authorization for the board to send, signed by the three of you, a very stern letter of the importance of this whole issue, everything from the commuter access to the project access to the MBTA, whoever the head may be now, as well as the governor. I mean, it's something at least you can authorize tonight, but Again, just to be clear, the town is continuing, we'll do whatever we can do, and we have done that, as has Mart. But in the end, it comes down to the MBTA and Mr. Berry, and would be hopeful that a solution would come, because one of the concerns that Mart has expressed is if this drags on beyond the end of March, we then run the risk of losing a substantial, if not all, of the construction season. Though it's not a big construction project, as you can all appreciate, there has to be public hearings, design hearings, etc.
It's government.
Yeah,
It'll take a
so
while.
that, if you will, is the update as of February 17th. And I think, Mr. Chairman, your point is well taken, that it is unclear, I'm going to say unclear, that whether the two parties even speak directly or have spoken directly.
From what I have gathered, the reason this was back on the table is because of the board, us sending a letter in May, was it?
Maybe it was May.
Which got everybody back to the table. And then, again, us following up, and then we finally met. Again, Robert reaching out, Sheila Harrington was very good, Senator Eldridge. And then, again, with this latest thing, to get us back to the table, which got us, was it January, correct?
Yes, January 21st.
After, and let me put this in context. It wasn't that the plan was changed and anybody was notified. They showed up in front of the planning board at a meeting, just like someone would now, and said, here's the plan. And the chairman caught it, I believe, right? Or someone caught it on the planning board and
Yes.
and was shocked everybody. And then this last plan, they changed again, last second. And they refused to speak to anybody. I asked Mr. Pastor if they wanted to sit down with Robert or myself or the board privately. Nothing. No
So it needs
response.
to be ratcheted up again.
Yeah, because the
And,
MBTA is I give Mark Boyle credit. He's going through a lot. He's very responsive. I mean, I know the AdSec group, I think you guys got all the emails that they, he would respond. He responded right away out here, but it tends to drift.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because it's, like Robert said, another year goes by. When was this project approved? 2012?
We need the advisory group there to get,
They've been pretty good.
The
to
advisory.
get loud.
And Jeremy's here. He's part of the advisory group. So,
And their letter, for the record, the advisory that came in front of this board with their letter was given to the MBTA and to Mr. Berry's attorney on January 21st.
it's just, it's mind-boggling. I don't understand how you can conduct ethically the way it's been done.
Well, what's even more disturbing is that in the middle of a snowstorm, we're gonna, try to block access,
And it was
effectively
blocked.
harm,
It was, I mean, they needed a loader to the
put
side of this
somebody
room to move
in
it.
danger,
Mhm.
and for what? That commuter didn't do anything. They're just trying to get on and off a train.
And in defense of, I guess, Mr. Berry, the MBTA, for lack of a better term, sucks at negotiating too. I sat at the table and said, are you kidding me? I mean, they show up and then say, okay, we'll talk to you in a week, give us an offer. I mean, who does
Yeah,
that?
this thing's gone on how many years?
Yeah, it's gone on for many, many. I mean, the funding was secured in October of 2012. It's now February of 2015.
It's been going on longer than that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
Correct.
and
Yeah, you're
then-
right. You're
then
right.
much longer
Yeah,
than
because
that.
I was hearing about this,
Oh,
when
yeah.
before I moved back to Massachusetts, too.
We're talking 2007, 2006, yeah.
And like Robert says, I don't understand the end game here unless they're looking for financial gains from it, but it completely benefits the landowner as well, to eliminate all that. I mean, and I see where he's coming from. I do. When I was over there the other night when the loader showed up, and there's people coming out of everywhere over there, parked in his lot and cutting through his lot, and so I mean,
And I don't blame him for being upset about it.
I agree.
You
I agree.
know?
I agree. I just wish he'd reach out and.
I wish there was, I'm sure there's a better way of doing it.
So I guess what can we do to ratchet it up? I mean, I'm always good at ratcheting it up, but sometimes it's not appropriate, so.
I know, that's when you want to do it the right way.
We need to send a
I like the
letter.
idea
Yeah.
of a letter.
Okay. And Sheila Harrington's been good, too. She's been trying to get in contact with Mr. Pastor and to see if she can put something together, too, but nothing so far.
Yeah, I'd say
And
to the
Mr.
governor to,
Yeah, we copy
definitely,
everybody, yeah.
Definitely.
And Robert, the only question I had is, when we first went into this in May, we needed a dedicated approved access. I don't recall ever being owned. I mean, they have the covenants. So why would the access that's been approved already by everybody not be valid for that access?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, in getting into the minutia of the governmental bureaucracy, the Federal Transportation Administration, the FTA, wants that it to be a permanent own dedicated access as opposed to your point, which does make good sense. They want to ensure that there's that access in perpetuity, that there's not some instrument or change that somehow would block that access in the future. And
In
it took-
2062?
Pardon?
It wouldn't be able to be blocked until 2062.
Right, but they want in perpetuity is with the language, and I believe it took Mart close to 16 months in the language to argue that point, but in perpetuity.
Okay.
And, right, so that they wouldn't drop a dime until that point.
It's a federal requirement, of which the majority of the funds is a federal earmark.
And the MBTA does have a lot of power here too. I mean, there's a lot that's gone on over there that was never enforced. That's in, their covenants or whatever. I mean, they have a lot of muscle at the railroad. And
I
mean,
think-
it may come to that. I hope it doesn't, but
I mean, I think that, the last point, Mr. Chair, I think that's a fair point for the public to keep in mind, because I know it's been said that the property owner is going to be giving this land to the town for $1 and all of that. But it's important for people to understand the value, and I'm not saying they don't, of those easements and those easements being removed from that property. As it stands now, the public has access, and as you sort of illustrated, all through that property. So, and I can understand Mr. Berry's frustration. But the second piece is, there's a second piece of the covenant that says that the property owner will maintain a ticket booth station with bathrooms until 2062. And Ms. Hamill, in October when we were there, and some others believed that historically that was what is the Advocates Building. Well, the intention was what is the Advocates Building would be, if you will,
you can
the
see it when you're there.
bathrooms, the ticket
It's
station, and
spelled right
so
out,
forth.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said to Mr. Boyle, I says, in the end, I says, when you talk about enforcing that, he indicated that the MBTA's intention, if this all went south, would be to enforce all of the covenants, including that one. But we're not at that point. I remain hopeful that it can resolve this, because I think that the option of the project benefits all of the parties, including Mr. Berry.
Yeah, I'm with you, Gary. I think a very strong letter from all of us.
Yep.
And to the governor.
Whoever listen.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be to the whole.
Send it to all the media stations if you want to. I mean,
CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all over the MBTA these days, so
Yeah.
why not add to it? And like I said, Mr. Boyle, who is the assistant general manager, so I believe he's right there with Beverly Scott, or right behind Beverly Scott, or
Yeah,
I
yeah,
At
he's
least I
right,
used
yeah.
to be, you mean?
Yeah.
He's pretty good though. I've met him. We met in May. I actually sent him an email afterwards saying, because he's straight shooter.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't duck the questions, and he's been very good. Jeremy, you've copied on the emails that people have sent, and he's responded within 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. So I mean, and, so.
Our luck, no pun intended, our luck on this has been a perfect storm, no pun intended. You've had 4 blizzards, the entire MBTA system, physically the infrastructure in turmoil, the head resign, and so there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Another pun not intended.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to vote, or is it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions or anything regarding this? All right. You want to take a vote on this? You want to make a motion?
I make a motion that the town administrator draft up a letter to be signed by the board, to be sent to any and all parties in relation to the MBTA Depot Square.
Second.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Janice?
Aye.
Chair says aye. So as soon as you can with that, Robert, that would be good. So hopefully we have something for that on our next meeting. I was hoping to have something tonight, but
Yes.
All right, so, on a lighter note, although serious, the Sandy Pond School Association, who we invited here a while back, so everybody that can fit, come on up.
Can fit them all.
Fit them all.
Excuse me. I thought those were yummy. Sugar-free.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you.
How are ya?
So, I guess we talked about getting you guys here just because I think we all cherish the town does, the building, and if there's any way that we can help you guys, whether it's funding or grants or whatnot, to help. I know we had talked about this a couple years back, and I don't really know what happened. I know you guys were looking for historic stuff, and then someone was going to write a grant, and
Progress is slow.
Yeah.
Very slow. We quickly learned that we really have to be on the National Registry. Believe it or not, the building is not on the National Registry. We have been working really hard on getting it.
and that's not easy to,
It's not
yeah,
easy.
no.
It's very expensive.
Mhm.
So currently, we've started the process. We've been accepted at the Massachusetts Historical Commission, which is the big first step. But we are at the point now where we are completely have to wait now. We're fundraising. We just started a fundraising. Slow. It's not
Sure.
going very fast. We have a substantial amount of money that we have to raise in order to finish.
So what's the end game? What do you want to accomplish?
Once we're on the National Registry,
Mhm.
and basically almost all these grants that are out there, you really have to be on the National Registry first. So we're,
It qualifies a building for all the grants and things.
But the chances of getting on a national, I should introduce myself, I'm Irv Rockwood, I'm new to the town.
Hi, Irv. Nice to meet you.
New to the board, new to the town.
Do you want to get on any other committee?
I was going to say, we have a couple of openings.
We could make it happen like that.
Before you even know it.
Exactly.
It's okay. But I've really been fascinated by the Sandy Pond School. Kathy introduced me to it. Kathy and I actually are cousins.
Yeah.
And the first time I walked through, I was always just overwhelmed. It was like walking on like a time warp. The building really is remarkably well preserved.
It is, yeah.
And it's got a rich historical legacy. It's actually the oldest public building in the town of Ayer. In fact, it's 2 years older than the town of Ayer because it was originally built by Groton for the Groton educational system. It's district number 11. It's got a lot of potential, we all believe, and it is something that we've been able to document that. This last summer we did hire a professional architectural historian and preservation consultant by the name of Stacy Spies. She's based in Hopkinton. Her initial look at it was, this is a lead pipe cinch, and she still feels that way. We hired her, retained her to put on, to apply for what's called an opinion of eligibility. And that was done this last summer. And at the end of the summer, we received from the Massachusetts Historical Commission an official favorable ruling on the opinion of eligibility. So they have told us that based on the information we have submitted, they believe this building is eligible to be on the National Register. Stacy's opinion is, they will take it. It will be approved. It's a matter of two things at this point to get to that step. And one, in our case, we need to raise more money in order to finish the documentation. We have just started that process. And then the second thing is you do have to wait for the Massachusetts Historic Commission to get around to actually processing these nominations, and that can take some time. We've been told as long as 2 years. But once that is done, then it goes on the National Park Service list, and ultimately it becomes a National Historic Site. That is our short-term goal, and that goal, when achieved, and we don't actually have to wait the full year and a half, 2 years, whatever it is, in order to achieve the goal, because once the nomination is in the building, so it has de facto historic status, it's kind of, it's viewed as in process, and therefore, for any practical purposes, anything that might occur in the meantime would be subject to National Register, rules. That would allow us at that point even to begin to apply for grants and to look for additional assistance on the preservation. Our longer term goal for the property is something we're still working on, but I think it can be sort of summarized. This is very much a draft, but we want to have it be physically well maintained, and I would add that it's currently in actually quite good physical condition with one known problem that does need to be addressed before we really would want to open it up to the public, and that is that the ceiling is peeling at this point. Structurally, it appears to be fine. We've had it inspected. It's actually in remarkable condition, all things considered. We ultimately would want to see this building get used, to be open to the public for special events and activities. One program that we've researched and discovered that's kind of a model is one that is used by a similar association down in North Attleboro, the North Attleboro Historical Association. It has a property called the Little Red Schoolhouse. It happens that one of my high school classmates, I were from Foxborough originally, one of my high school classmates is a co-curator in that, and so I've had an opportunity to talk to her a lot about that program. And the interesting part is that the state of Massachusetts has a local history curriculum requirement in social studies for third grade level students. And there in North Attleboro, one of the consequences of that is they now have a regular class site visitation program in which third grade classes from Attleboro and North Attleboro come visit the school, have a daily site, one-day site visit once a year for each of the classes. And somewhere in the vicinity of 500 odd students actually go through this school a year. And they get a little lesson plan that's put together actually by the teachers. So it gives them information and exposure to 19th century life in a single room schoolhouse. And it helps meet the Massachusetts requirement for local history as one of the. So that's a really neat program, and it's one of the things that we think we could look at for Sandy Point Schoolhouse.
Westford does that also over at the Parker Village School.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the program, but they always have
been-
buses and.
We've been there to a couple of their things.
Yeah.
Foxborough has a similar
Yeah.
Mhm.
school day.
Yeah.
The scouts in town would also like to be able to use that building for their badges and
Sure.
things like that.
Yeah.
They're also very interested.
So I guess the question we had, I don't know if we can do anything with the building, but is there anything we can help with the outside, the trees? You know, I know the site's a little bit overgrown and pruned, and is there any, you know what I mean, in that respect? Would that be helpful, or?
I mean, right now, I don't think that,
I don't think at the moment, we do have two large pine trees there which need pruning,
Mhm.
yeah, they do.
unfortunately. We do what we can to trim them up ourselves.
Yeah, but I
Obviously,
mean, sure. It's
There
a
is
little
a
bit
tree in the
I'm
above.
not Matty Flag,
There's
I
a tree
can't
in the
climb
back
it.
with heavy damage.
Yes, from one of the storms, yeah, 'cause I drive by it every day, so I see
Yeah.
that, yeah, they probably all could be pruned up, and yeah.
Closer to the, where people would come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where that tree does need to come down, it's damaged.
Well, what did the town have in mind?
Well, that's kind of what, we haven't really talked about it. I know we all wanted to discuss it, so I mean, I guess I'm just looking for ideas, and David was looking into some stuff. Did he leave?
Yeah.
He was looking, I think I had asked him at the last meeting to look up for some
I know
specific.
we've had problems with that actual corner where the stop sign is.
It's
It
so
gets-
scary.
Gets run over.
I mean,
And run
Since
over.
since they fixed it, it is, I will say, it is better. I mean, Mark
But
cut
they'll
the,
pull boulders down the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah.
Like, what?
We
Well,
talked about that
it's a
before.
drunk
Yeah.
drive away from being destroyed.
That's the
Yeah,
thing.
you know?
And you could come right through that
Yeah.
area. So.
since Mark had the curb cut back, it is much better there to make that corner. It's much safer.
I think they're talking about going
Coming head on.
eastbound.
Yeah.
where Sandy Pond.
So heading towards Littleton, is that what you're saying?
Coming from down Willows Road
Mm-hmm.
towards the schoolhouse from Littleton,
Oh, okay.
facing it.
Oh, you mean that
Because
little?
You could just, you
If
could,
you're going in this direction from there, there's
Yeah.
a slight turn too with the boulder.
Yeah.
That could easily be.
but the thing is, it would have to look natural and stay with the site that it's, you know what I mean?
We've talked several times about
Yeah.
doing something like, some form of guardrail, but somehow putting up a steel guardrail really doesn't.
Takes
doesn't-
away
No,
from,
takes
yeah.
away from it.
and granite doesn't
No,
stop. It's not going to stop
No.
if someone's coming at it.
no,
The
unfortunately.
good news is at the moment, it's not a problem because of the snow.
Well, protect it a little bit.
Yeah.
If we could preserve the snow.
Yeah.
Now, I know one time, a couple of years ago, you guys came in front of CPC, and I was on there, and
Yeah,
we were expecting it to come back again, and...
yeah, it said we needed to get,
I think part of it was the national.
yeah, we
register.
had to do a lot more footwork to get in there. We needed an inventory, and we needed,
So Mass Historic's approved.
yeah,
And the inventory was done
Mhm.
too with the, with what we're doing here
Yeah.
too, so we're getting.
I mean, if you can
closer.
put something, exactly what you're looking for, maybe for infrastructure, for the schoolhouse itself, and then present that to CPC. They look for a initial proposal, and then we're gonna go from there. It's all on the website, on what to do.
Now, it said it wanted 3 different costs, like 3 different people coming in and.
Oh, estimates and stuff?
Estimates, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
common.
So, I mean, and then that's the other thing, is finding a historical,
Preservation.
yeah.
Mhm.
That can
Right.
do it.
So, I mean,
Right,
like the town
right.
hall, they did a great job here. Should we contact them? And what about the Fletcher building? That looks really nice. So, you know,
Yeah, I mean-
so we're kind of working in that now that we
Mhm.
have to actually present these,
Yeah.
these quotes for the work. So,
Yeah, our short-term focus is on finishing up this National Register nomination,
Mhm.
which we would really like to get that paperwork off of our desk and put it on NHC's desk, and then begin to move on to some of the next steps, which certainly include getting formal estimates of work that's needed short-term and longer-term, and establishing, an annual operating budget, and making it possible to open the building for a variety of purposes. 'Cause it's really a great historic landmark, and it's here. It's kind of not exactly an accident of history, but kind of,
Yeah, yeah.
it's here.
Yeah.
And we've been, previous generation kind of gave it to us, passed it on
Mhm.
to us. Now, can we make use of it moving forward? And
I wonder if there's anything we could do, since it's
Preserve it.
educationally, I mean, is there anything?
Well, one of the problems we have, we really can't have anybody in the building until we have funding for insurance.
Yeah, and that was the issue, if I remember before. It was getting expensive just to open it twice a year.
When
Yeah.
in the 50s, a Band-Aid's at home. That's
Right.
one of the big concerns.
Yeah.
Right,
If
right,
they
right.
would have put a big sticker on it, would have said, "Don't step here."
yeah.
Right, yeah, right,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little
Yeah.
different.
yeah.
When we have opened the schoolhouse for an annual meeting and to have people come
Mhm.
down, what's the cost of insurance for one day?
$350.
$350?
$400.
I'm not sure.
That's just for the day?
One day.
And we open up, we ask for a small donation when they come in, and
Yeah.
I think we
Actually-
net about $50.
Yeah.
for the
Well,
day,
basically,
so.
we need an annual operating budget
Yeah.
that covers stuff like
Mhm.
that.
Right.
And again, the Little Red Schoolhouse down in North Andover, the way they handle that is they're self-funded, but,
Yeah.
they do it all.
So how, I mean, we couldn't provide that really though, because when they're not, it's not a town building, correct?
Mm.
And that's
Yeah.
That's the,
Yeah.
that's the rub.
There's gotta be a way.
Yeah, go ahead,
Mr.
Ron.
Chairman, through you and the board, when you had mentioned about on getting the historic designation completed and you're raising funds, do you have a dollar amount that you need to complete that progress?
Yeah, we need a total of about $4,500.
45, yeah.
4,500? Okay. And this would be to complete the application for the National Register?
Correct.
It's the research and
Yeah.
the, and
It's,
the preparation of the supporting documentation
Yeah.
and the forms. And
How about a cultural counselor?
Well, Through the chair, as Selectman Luca had mentioned,
That's a good idea,
I
Gary.
wouldn't cross the CPC entirely off. And
Right.
I mean, as far as the technical support, as far as the bid or the procurement and stuff,
Yeah.
there's something that the town could help with in that sense. You know, as far as what the scope of that project would be under the historic designation, I wouldn't rule out the CPC. In the status of the schoolhouse, are you a 501(c)?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I check with council to Selectman Lucas' point. There's got to be a way or a mechanism, as you were mentioning.
I mean, you know, we give to like Little League and,
Right. The town
Sure.
has various accounts to
Yeah.
other, right.
can we find out about that? And maybe throw them a couple bucks if we can.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Senator Eldridge, I know when I first got elected, was very, and he's asked since then, talking about this rail thing, that he was very interested in seeing what he could do to help too.
Great,
I don't know if that does anything for us, but I mean, statewide, if there's something there, maybe.
yeah.
Well, see, I don't know how the cultural council works either,
Mm.
but I know they got some state money recently.
Well, even in
Do
the,
we contact
Even if
them?
we could get like a stipend,
I
a
don't-
stipend or something towards,
yeah. What, well, in the meantime, I mean, could we help and clean up? I mean, obviously not per se our DPW, that's not what I'm asking, but
Right.
could we get don't cringe, but could we get the inmates in to rake and clean? And I mean, they've been fantastic. We've used them in other places.
Can't rake much right now.
No,
Mr. Chair,
but, or maybe we can look, I mean, there are,
Then
there,
we'd have the concern of insurance, would we have any liability?
for the inmates?
On the property?
no, I don't,
Or-
and I can inquire about that. No, I don't think you do.
Because
the inmate program that Selectman Hillman refers to, their insurance rider and their insurance coverage is under the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office. So this work that was done, if an inmate were to be injured on the site, you're not liable. In other words, when we've used them in the town, it's on their own. To the chairman's point, what would be helpful, and it gets difficult at this time with all this snow, but if you had sort of a proposal as to sort of some maintenance
what's needed.
of what's needed, even if you want to call it a wish list or something that you would submit, you could submit to the selectman's office. We can look at it, and I'm sure there are some things that we can do, and maybe there are some things that we can direct in the right direction that need to be done, or maybe some things that maybe even the private sector may be able to help with.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of companies in this town that are,
Yeah.
around that like to help with stuff like this.
Yeah, that's what we're getting ready to do.
We have community service too for the kids. I mean, in the school, I mean, they can go down and rake and clean up and,
Yeah.
Unless they're insured.
Yeah, that's,
it's good.
Well,
Point.
back to insurance, that's the,
Okay.
Right.
But,
You'd be, so putting together some sort of, wish list of things that we know we need to kind of get.
Yeah.
On the outside.
On the outside.
and like you said, when you mentioned the pine trees, that's the first thing that stands out at me, those big, nasty pine trees. And like you said, a couple of the ones that have just split over the years that are kind of, just need to be,
Yeah.
have a tree guy come in for half a day and really prune them up and make them look nice and maybe do something with the grass. And because I see your husband out there, Chris, all the time.
Yeah.
And there's something, sometimes he's out there solo.
Yeah.
The new sign does look nice though.
It was a nice job.
But I guess that's how we're looking if we could to help, because we do want to help.
I think that's doable. If we could put something together in yard, outside.
Yeah,
that could be-
that would be great.
That needs to be done.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
and
appreciate it.
and we can look into, obviously, on our end too, if there's any, like Gary had said, maybe the cultural council, or if there's anything out there.
Yeah, Kim, like Robert said with the CPC, don't rule it out,
Yeah.
it's,
Okay.
So
there is historic money
We're
that,
not there yet, but,
Mhm.
it sounds like it's a process there too. We can start.
yeah, I mean, you probably
Yeah.
would be tough to get it on Springtown meeting, but maybe in the fall,
Yeah, I think you have to have it ready
You might
in
be
the
able to-
fall, and then it goes to,
Mm-hmm. And Robert.
and I mean,
Mary
with
had
a small
question, too.
expenditure, I mean, it's really,
yeah.
try it.
Yeah, okay.
Or, yeah, like I said, even if we could get the inmates in for, I mean, Mark, you had pretty good success with them, right, when they came in and cleaned up and,
They're hard workers, they do a good
Yeah.
job, it's tough to get out.
yeah,
You
Yeah.
gotta schedule them, try not to.
Yeah. But like you said, Mark, they're hard workers, and they do about 6 hours a day or 5 hours a day or something like that. And you have to buy them. Yeah, you have to buy them a pizza, and you pick them up coffee. So I mean, it's minimal cost, and they do a lot of work. We've used them in several places in town, which.
Well, the other thing I was going to mention, there really isn't that much to be done down in the schoolhouse. I mean, we usually pick up the limbs and place them across the street, and magically the town of Ayer, I assume, I'm not saying they do, make them disappear. Years ago,
Someone
back in the
takes-
I think if we
60s,
put some thought into it, we have some things that do need to be.
we could,
Yeah,
It
there's
has not
yeah.
been raked out, it has not been thatched. It has
Correct.
not- We have limbs
Yeah,
that
the-
definitely need to come
And
down.
you're lucky that, I mean,
So-
I don't mean you're lucky, but the DPW does mow it out of courtesy
Yeah,
each
that's-
week, so,
Yeah.
That's something we're very thankful.
yeah.
years ago, back in the 50s, when I was growing up here in Sandy Pond, everybody worked around the schoolhouse, the old timers were still around in those days, and they guarded it very carefully. And everybody just pitched in and took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Town cut the grass, the town would do this, we go do this, and it just worked out. But unfortunately, as years go by and people pass on, we lose everything. We're trying to get back to where we once were.
Well, maybe we can take a field trip on a Saturday or something and meet down there and,
In the spring. when
Yeah.
we see it
Sure.
going
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Snow's gone.
no, this Saturday, Janice, we're going down.
That'll be July.
I think we could plan something.
Yeah, and just come up with some ideas, because I think there's some small little improvements that could really make it look really nice, and then you guys could get going on the inside and hopefully
Yeah,
and
it'd be great.
start using it.
Yeah.
Because you have that parking in the back too with the old road too,
Yeah.
that might be able to use.
Yeah, we don't want to open that old road.
No,
No.
no.
I remember when it was open.
I remember.
Oh, I can imagine. It must have
You did too,
been,
probably.
no, I haven't been in town that long,
Oh, really?
but
Okay.
I can imagine how bad it was. You know,
Okay,
So maybe we can look into our end and maybe
Yeah.
get in touch with you guys in
yeah.
a couple
We'll get
weeks
we'll
and
get a
see what we
wish
can do to
list
help. And
Together and try to send it to you with some contact information.
yeah, I'm
it's
sorry, Mary, you had a
daunting
question
any-
too.
You know, it's daunting anyway, so
Yeah.
it's,
And likewise, I'd
If we-
give you, if you one of my cards
Okay,
through the
great.
chair. If you could, I'd be interested as to where you are in the application process. I know there's about $4,500 worth of work left, but we can discuss further offline. But when it gets to the point, I mean, between the Freedom's Way Heritage Corridor,
right.
Congresswoman Songas,
Right.
who represents Ayer, has been very involved with national
Yes.
historic registration, from the political end between the state and federal officials to perhaps facilitate that application so it doesn't take 2 years.
That would be fabulous.
Janice? And Mary, Janice, hold on, Mary's been raising her hand. I called on her 3
go
times.
ahead.
My
Go
apologies.
ahead.
Sorry, Mary.
Two things. When we cleaned up the Pleasant Street School, we used the prisoners from MCI Concord.
Mm-hmm.
They were very happy to come over here. And they said that they're doing fundraising. How are you doing it, and where do people send money to?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you guys put much thought into the fundraising and how you might,
Yeah, one place where people can send money right now, the website has been revised, we got that done this last fall. And you can donate money on the website now, in fact, we've already received several donations.
can we link that with our stuff?
Well, that's what I was just gonna ask.
I mean, it's not a town, but I mean, it is really a town. I mean,
I
it's,
think
Yes,
it's on-
nonprofit.
There should be
It's on your
a,
page in the community.
is it?
okay. But we can promote it on our Facebook page too, which will pop up,
Yeah.
please visit this and,
Yeah,
It
that'd be
is linked
great.
on the town website.
okay.
That's what I couldn't remember, and
All
then,
right.
when we revamp the town website, maybe we can bring out some of these other links in a little better of a way, instead of kind of buried the way they are. Because the town website is gonna get revamped, so.
But do you
So
have a
Cindy, if you're
post
listening.
office
Yeah,
box?
to Mary's point,
Because I know I sent it to a post office
Yeah.
box
We
before.
also have a post
Yeah.
office.
is it P.O. Box 693?
Yes.
P.O. Box 693, Air, Mass, and they would just make the donation payable to the Sandy Pond.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Great.
great.
So, I think it would be exciting. I mean, I really, people know that place, it's like, where do you live? Oh, take a ride at the first schoolhouse, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
if we can help in any way, I think we can. I
Great.
mean, it'd be good to work together as a team and make this place look
Appreciate it
great
very
and
much.
help you guys out, so. Go ahead, Janice.
Just one other thing, like when we have our little announcements and everything, Isn't there a way to maybe utilize that a little bit better to, maybe have these quick blurbs go across even as we're starting? I don't know, to say, okay, you have a fundraiser, because even though it's not town, it's town. But maybe kind of utilize even the announcement section
Sure.
a little bit better.
If we wanted to kind of put together, which we certainly could do, kind of a PowerPoint presentation and have a speaker and talk about it, and to local people, invite people to come, we would need a venue to do that. We don't have that, really.
We can help you with that.
Right.
Is that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you contacted APAC?
No.
No.
And that is, Harry and David have done some nice things with local businesses in town, promoting them and whatnot. Maybe they could do something
Yeah.
with the schoolhouse.
Television.
Sounds like it would be a
You can
fun
always
project, too.
Use
Yeah.
this space, meaning the town hall. Would be happy to have you,
That would be great.
schedule, Carly schedules all of the rooms here, and as you can see, we have multimedia technology, and, and it can even be filmed.
Yeah, so they can come out and actually film at the schoolhouse too, and then
Getting all excited.
broadcast
Ooh,
it.
camera.
And one of us will reach out to the senator too, who was just asked, basically, when I spoke to him about the commuter rail thing last week, if anything was happening on that, and I told him you guys were coming. So if he can help and maybe help move things along, would be great too.
Okay, that would.
So, what do you think of plan? Do you want to touch base in a couple weeks? And
They'll send a sort of a wish list
Yep.
of things,
Sure.
as well as another sort of list on the application.
Send it to you and
Yeah.
then you forward it?
Yeah,
kind of?
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
keep the board updated.
Yeah,
Okay.
please.
And if you'd like to do a presentation anytime or meet here, we can arrange that as well.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming, and really this time I think we want to stay on this and help you guys. We're not trying, hopefully, we're not trying to intervene or get involved, we're just trying to give you what you guys need to
Yeah, that would
succeed.
A little bit more of a public venue.
Yeah.
Yes, that'd be great.
That'd be very helpful.
We need that.
Need more of a public presence.
We
Yes,
do. We do, in order to get keep it going.
There you go.
yeah, absolutely.
So that would be
All right,
great.
great.
All
All
right.
right, looking forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, donate.
Oh, they have a thing? I haven't even
Yeah.
looked, yeah.
Yeah, it's on,
They have a really nice website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark.
Few minutes for you. Sounds like it should be.
I agree. Sanika promoted on the Facebook page.
Yeah. Good.
The building is remarkably sound. I mean, when you drive by it, it's there's nothing that is saying that it's in any way, shape, or
No,
form
but it's kind of
tilting or
gotten
cracking or
forgotten.
anything,
It's
yeah.
gotten forgotten by the younger crowd.
And the site, it's
site,
overgrown.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
disagree a little bit. I mean, it needs a chipper.
I'll donate.
What's that?
I think I'll donate.
Is this the order?
Yeah, hey,
Hey, you make big
There we
bucks,
go.
so,
Oh, yeah, I'm loaded.
because you keep raising the price of the stamps, so I know you're.
We haven't
doing
gone up
money.
in 2 years.
No, but you're talking about going up. Been in headlines.
We're talking about it.
I just went up my service rates. Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yep.
With Amazon, you guys must be cranking.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Delivered by drones.
Your drones have been shot down.
No drones,
We're buying the
keep
snow drones next.
them,
There you go.
keep them on the ground.
Yeah, they say you have to visually see where they're going.
Yep.
It's not gonna do well.
No, not coming out of Stoughton.
Good evening. I have three agenda items tonight. The first item is request to deficit spend the snow budget.
What do you mean?
Why do you need money for the snow?
So I have a couple of background slides. I saw this in yesterday's paper, so I couldn't figure out how to make a copy of it off of my iPad, so I took a picture of it. But you can see we're very close to the record. This is Boston, but I think it's similar. Actually, I have we're at 102 inches in air.
In 3 weeks, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we
so
had about.
you can see the dark line is this winter, so you can see it's all happened since the end of January to the middle of February, whereas the previous record, 95 to 96, happened over quite a period of time. So there were some spaces in between some of those big snowfalls.
95 and 96, I believe, is when it extended. We had the April 1st Easter storm too, which dumped about 30
Yeah.
inches of snow late.
97.
Was it? Yeah.
97.
And then you can see there's a normal winter curve, which shows 45 inches and.
It's once a week, 3 inches.
What was
And
that?
I do have I have a slide that will come up with, I believe, but the next one. So I just wanted to give an idea of how our snow budget breaks down. As you can see, we're spending the majority of our money on salt, labor, and fuel.
You see?
Salt, we're probably not spending as much. Well, the price went up significantly this year.
For salt?
Yes,
Yeah,
a
okay.
lot. It went up a lot. It went up, I want to say 30% from last year.
Jeez.
But that's the bad news. The good news is they're not delivering any, so we've had to ration it, so we're not using as much. But it's also getting even more expensive because we can't get it from Eastern Salt, so
So you're paying more to-
So we're paying more to either send a truck in to get it for us, or
One truck.
buying it through another company out of Portsmouth.
Going twice.
Yeah, they're only allowing
One truck going twice.
Same truck twice.
Same truck.
Can we
Same
make some
truck.
noise on that too?
We are,
I mean,
Yeah.
I know I saw that, but I mean, I feel like, we're just
Well,
getting the shaft here.
and the-
We buy it, we're supposed to get the,
You're allowed 1 grain of salt per street.
Well, what was interesting was, you can't escape any of this stuff in the media. And I read in the paper that the city of Boston, they're all set because they've got 150,000 tons of salt ready to go. So Boston doesn't need the salt. They're using the trucks that haul our salt to haul their snow away. So that's where the problem is.
but they won't release their salt to your hired trucks, which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah, and I think that's more of a management at Eastern Salt, that they don't want to have a whole bunch of different trucks coming in and hanging around. So that's why they say 1 truck per town.
What is, off the top, what does one trailer dump do? I mean, what does that do for us? I mean, it doesn't do the whole town, right? I mean, it's a couple loads
We need about 2 or 3 in a storm
per storm.
like this, like the one we just had, and we're not even doing all of the.
No, you're not doing everything
all
like
the
you used to,
roads,
yeah.
Yeah, the roads aren't black and
Well, I've noticed it's every town, so I mean, they must all be
yeah.
running low.
So this is where we are with the budget so far, and so I just wanted to show from FY11 through FY15, you can see the blue is what our budget is, the red is what we actually spent, and the black jagged line is the total snowfall. So you can see when we have a lot of snowfall, the costs go up, and they are going to go up additional. So far, year to date, we've spent $282,000, but that doesn't include a lot. I haven't gotten a lot of the bills in from contractors, or this past storm isn't factored into that also.
What do we budget?
We budgeted,
Did you see Lawrence only budgets
242.
$180,000 for the entire city?
Because they can deficit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but 180,000, my God, for Lawrence.
And we actually are almost 50,000. We budgeted almost $50,000 a year more than last year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
I want to
can-
rethink
You can
that.
see it. And we did have a meeting with the businesses today to talk about primarily the Main Street snow removal. And so the conclusion of that meeting is I'm going to look at some different scenarios for how we can augment our manpower and come up with some costs, and then I'll present that to the board. Because right now we physically can't do it with the staff and equipment that we have in an efficient manner. It's
Because
just,
you've had some equipment failures.
well, we've had some equipment
Over these
failures,
last couple storms,
but
too.
regardless of that, when the guys are out, we had one storm that was, some of the guys were, and I won't say they're working for 48 hours straight because they're taking naps in between, but they're punched in for 48 hours straight.
Right.
And then they have to come in and do their regular job the next day. We only have 5 guys in the highway. All the other guys have jobs to do at the transfer station. I'm sure you saw Andrew taking naps on Sunday.
I've stayed away from Andrew. I heard he
Yeah,
was
good job getting
cranky.
that open on Sunday.
I heard he was cranky. I'm not going near him.
I was surprised to see
You know,
that.
and the water guys are not only doing their water treatment stuff, but they're out doing hydrants also. So there's a lot of things that have to get done once the plowing stops that's not related to snow removal. So we're going to come up with some alternatives and scenarios with that.
Karen?
Make a motion to allow DPW to deficit spend on snow, on the FY 2015 snow budget.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Janice?
Yes.
Chair says aye.
And we have
Motion passes.
a
Signature
request
by
that
chair.
was approved by the Finance Committee. Yes.
Have you ever been here when there wasn't a deficit spend? Yeah. I mean, even in great winters, I mean, it's just, I mean,
No, we've had a deficit every year.
yeah.
Yeah.
This might be significant, but hey. Well, you know, the other problem is people are overlooking, it hasn't been above 32. And I don't remember when.
Arctic
So, I mean, we're not getting any melt
There's
off.
not much
Yeah.
melting going on, so it's not shrinking.
Just me?
And Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, just procedurally, I know the board is aware of this, but for the public's benefit,
17th.
with the authorization of the
Hmm?
deficit spending, though we can deficit spend under Mass General Law, we still have to pay back that deficit.
Sure.
Often comes from the free cash, so there is an impact.
No, absolutely.
Well,
Luckily, we have free
I think
cash.
this one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think this one is kind of self-explanatory.
And I'm not positive what all the details are, but I know from what Lisa has said, you don't want to overestimate the snow budget for
Right.
many years.
No, I
because
think
then
it's done
DOR
correctly.
won't approve it.
Right, yeah, because next year we could have a really mild winter.
We did until
And then you're taxing people with money you're not using.
the end of January.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So the next item is the acceptance of the, well, I said deed, order of taking for the land for the street acceptance on Old Farm Way, Fox Run, Partridge Run, and there was one more, Hickory Way. And we just got the documents yesterday from town council, and she wanted me to let you know that this order of taking to be signed could still have some, it's still in a final review, so there may be some minor modifications. She said that the board should vote to execute the order of taking subject to such modifications as approved by town council based on the title work compiled by the developers council. So it's basically kind of everybody's sort of double checking everything, and there may be some minor changes on it, but and if we don't do it this way, then we'd have to have a special meeting later this week to sign it, because the February 24th is the
Statutory
Date.
deadline.
And do you have a final, I mean, you make the final call on whether it's completely ready anyways, correct?
right.
So, I mean, it's not like we enter into this and then
But
that's not
a
happening.
lot of it is, you know, and I've gone through it. And there's also the easements, which is a separate document that this is what has to be signed prior to the 24th. The
Yep.
easements doesn't have to be, but
Okay.
that's what's really the detailed,
Sure.
difficult document to review, because there's so many easements with drainage and
Sure.
and slope easements and things like that.
And Mr. Chairman, just to build off the superintendent, this is in accordance with the town meeting vote of Article 2 of the October 27th, 2014 Fall Town Meeting. And I also talked to town council, and they do not anticipate any substantive deviation, and are confident in the board voting to authorize to sign this. And lastly, we do have a letter from the Board of Assessors, which is required by law, stating that the acceptance of these public ways and any easements do not diminish the value of the real estate. So all the ducks are in a row.
Okay. Gary?
Mark, what was the specific wording you said? Was there specific
So
wording that
section
needed?
that was, that's underlined. And this is for execution by the board, and it needs to be notarized, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to write it.
Okay?
Make a motion to approve the order of taking for the roads that the October 27th, 2014 special town meeting voted to accept within Ridgeview Estates, to execute the order of taking, subject to such modifications as approved by town council, based on the title work compiled by the Developers Council.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Chair says aye. I'll sign that.
You can have it.
Okay.
Good.
Two.
I'll do blue, right?
Good call.
We'll send everything.
I wasn't able to steal the pen from you tonight, so.
You got like 100 of them.
No.
Your supply budget must be like low.
Taxing into the post office. Just one, right?
Then the final item, as Water and Sewer Commissioners, I wanted to give you an update on our wastewater treatment National Pollution Discharge Elimination System permit, we call it, known as the NIPDES permit. We just received a 5-year permit renewal with an effective date of March 1st, 2015. It's pretty much, and I've updated the board on this previously. There were basically 3 new effluent requirements that we're not really sure what the impact is going to be on the treatability of the system. One is total copper, which the limit is 4.1 parts per billion. That's B as in billion, so it's not much. Lead is 1 part per billion, and aluminum is 87 parts per billion. The issue with aluminum, we normally wouldn't have problems with aluminum, but to remove our phosphorus down below our phosphorus limits, we add a coagulant called alum, which adds aluminum to the water. So what we really don't know is, we know that the lead will probably not have a problem with. We don't have a lot of data on that, but from the data we've seen, it doesn't look like lead will be a problem. We're not sure about copper because we don't also have enough data on that. And aluminum, we know we're going to have to change our treatment process to a certain extent, and we're investigating that. So as part of the permit, we put in a compliance schedule because we knew off the bat we wouldn't be able to meet these requirements. So basically, we bought some time to figure out what actually is our problem and how do we resolve that. And I'll give you an example. Lead and copper comes primarily from corrosion of plumbing in people's houses. So what we need to do, and we're in the process of doing it, as a matter of fact, we were supposed to start up one of the treatment systems last week, but the snow got us behind. But we're going to add some chemicals at the water treatment plants, which will then make the water less corrosive, and that should reduce our lead and copper. But we're not positive as to how effective that's going to be and how to optimize it. So we have a schedule that allows us through the end of this year to optimize the corrosion control and see if there's something else we're going to have to do. There's also, from talking with the consultants, there may be an opportunity to change these limits as the state does more studies on the Nashua River. For instance, the MWRA has a treatment plant up in Clinton that discharges to the Nashua River. They don't have these requirements because the Nashua River up there isn't as polluted as is down here. So we're basically getting punished because other people are dumping stuff in the river before it gets to us. But the EPA hasn't really done the studies that they need to really know what copper limit we should have and what we would degrade the water. So we're basically buying time and figuring out what long-term do we have to do? And maybe one of them is we petition for a change in limits.
Does the work that we're gonna do in East Main Street affect any of this?
No.
Good, bad, or indifferent? Nothing?
No.
Right.
No, basically, we have, as part of the treatment plant upgrade that we did last year, we put in a chemical control system that we've played around with, and we were ready to start feeding that into the system. And then we voted money at town meeting to put in the same facility at Spec Pond, and that's in process, but we have some of the equipment, but we haven't started installing it yet. So basically, by 2017, we have to submit an engineering report that says this is where we are and this is what we're going to do to comply. And then, assuming that we need to do some improvements to comply, we have to achieve compliance by 2020.
So we have a little time, but you're ahead of it.
Right, and we'll be monitoring it, and you know, this schedule, I have to submit certain things, and
Sure.
at certain points, we may want to seek a permanent amendment.
Yep.
One thing I should also point out is, again, it's a 5-year permit, so we're gonna have a new permit before we
Before
have to
you're done.
comply with this permit.
Sure.
And then one of the other parts of this that they've added, it's what the EPA calls CMOM, but it's basically the wastewater collection system, operations, maintenance and management. And we do a little of that, but we haven't really put a big emphasis on it. And that's something that I've been working on with the crew to spend more time on. And basically, they put it in the permit, everybody's getting that in the permit, and we're already working on a lot of these things. So I don't see a problem with complying with that, and it's actually a benefit to the town, and then based on that, we'll have a better idea of what our long-term infrastructure needs will be for our sewer system.
Cool.
Any questions?
No, I mean, it seems like you're on top of it. It seems like there's a lot to it too, so.
Yes, and, you know, and having a Dan, town engineer, he's working on doing the sewer system mapping, putting all the asset data in, and then we'll come up with some management planning.
That's good to us.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
And just also like to point out, we're doing snow removal out on Main Street at 10 o'clock tonight. If you haven't seen it done, I'm sure your meeting's gonna be going still at 10 o'clock tonight.
We'll make sure our cars are off the street.
I hope so, because the avalanche is
It's
right
quite an
around.
operation though, if you ever see it. These guys have, you know, they know who's doing what, when they're doing it, and no one's standing around. If they are, they're just waiting for someone to move something. So they, it's a pretty efficient operation, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. No, it's amazing you get up in the morning and everything's clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little ferries went by or something.
How the guys holding up? I mean,
They're all crabby.
No, I mean, I was saying to my wife, I plowed for 12, 13 years in Littleton. I don't recall doing more than 1 or 2 24-hour storms, and I think these guys have had 3 or 4 in a row. And I'm talking about over 15 years. I mean, they've been out.
Yeah,
Lack of sleep.
I
gets you
jotted
for a while.
down I keep track of all the snowfall for the last, since I've been here, each storm, how much it is. And I don't think last year, we had one storm or more than one storm that was over 10 inches.
We had one.
We had the blizzard, was it the blizzard?
2 years ago.
No,
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. But last year it was a succession. It was like 2 or 3 a week for like 2 weeks. Then we get hit 6, 8, 10.
Right.
Yeah.
This
Nothing
year,
like this.
This year, we've gotten, actually, believe it or not, on the 24th, which was the Saturday before the blizzard, we got 8 inches.
Right.
Then we got 34, then we got 16, then we just had a little 3-inch. Then we got 14 and a half, then we had 2 inches, then we got 14.1. So these are big storms. These are, any year, any one of these would be the storm of the year.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And, it's and you know they're doing a great job with the resources they have, and but they're pretty cranky.
Well, hopefully they'll get a week or so off here, or maybe a year off, hopefully,
Yeah.
with snow, but we'll see.
Like you said, they've all these stars have blurred into one, because we were talking about it at work the other day. We were like, we saw the name for this past storm. We're like, Neptune. This last one I remember was Juno. What happened?
Is that a Weather Channel thing with these names
I think
of the
it's Weather
storms?
Channel.
Yeah. They're not official, but they're.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
you don't hear them so much around here, but I
Yeah,
have
but you know,
heard them.
you see it, and then you're like, wait a minute, I feel like I missed something. Like they all blurred into one, you know. So
All right.
Hey,
Good
thank you.
work. Thank you, Mark. I'm just gonna step out for a second. Do you wanna
okay.
wait just for a second, or you wanna just start with
We-
Robert?
we might.
Use the bathroom real quick.
It'll just be a minute. Can you wait, or do you need to? Okay.
Put on the wait music. You can sit and wait.
Should we sing?
TD bank.
Should we sing? We can sing a song. Do you know any songs
I
that you can sing
don't sing.
on TV?
I don't sing. Don't sing. I howl.
That's just scary.
Well, 31 days till the first day of spring.
You get your keys, I gather. Okay.
Is it only 31 days?
Yeah, till the first, quote, official day of spring, we've been snow.
Oh yeah, it's like 100 and some days to summer.
Mm.
Yeah, right? Yeah, because I'm trying to remember, somebody posted something, and I was like, what? I don't know if we're gonna make it. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Me and my band is gonna play.
Okay, so on this report, you're gonna go over this little grid you have?
Yeah, just some quick highlights.
All right.
Yeah.
Throwing it off the side and my windows.
All right, he should be back in any minute if you wanna
Okay.
start broaching
All
the
right.
subject.
Through the vice chair to the board, under the administrative update, I just wanted to talk about two items. One that Mark did touch upon, but I think it's just important to note that this afternoon at 2 p.m., I had about 25 to 30 of the downtown business folks in this room. And I had Mark Wetzel and Doug Jasperson here, as well as the two chiefs, and David Mahar and Selectman Luca did attend. And the purpose of the meeting was to discuss the downtown snow removal and the issues of downtown, with the downtown, with the storms. And there was a lot of frustration from the business community, rightfully so, and concerns, public safety concerns. And just real quick, and we can memorialize this in a memo to the board, because I think something more formal will be coming very shortly to the board. But what did come out of the meeting, and it was a good dialogue, is that and this is no reflection on the DPW in this sense, but in terms of resources to meet the expectations of removing the snow within 48 to 72 hours from downtown, we are going to look at subcontracting out downtown. I mean, this will be a proposal with the research for this board to consider whether or not to authorize, but it's looking in that direction. Another point that was brought up when storms are occurring, that if two of our people from DPW can be extra diligent in terms of making sure that the crosswalk openings on both ends are open, and just those basic thoroughfares. There's a lot of concerns there. Thirdly, we will review, and ultimately it'll be the board's decision. There's a list of sidewalks that have been authorized through the years by the town that are cleared every year.
Yeah,
and
I
some of
forgot
those.
to ask, the sidewalks, Frank caught me the other day to complain about sidewalks, and
Yeah, some of those
if the town's not
sidewalks.
doing them, how am I supposed to enforce the person that lives in front of the house? You know, you know what I mean? I know the equipment
That's a
broke, but I know,
Yeah.
but if the town's equipment breaks, which I get, and I blow my back out, do I get a fine?
Right.
But there are a few.
I mean, I guess that, I'm not trying to pick
Yeah.
a fight or anything,
No.
I'm just saying, it's kind of maybe a bylaw.
But we
can
discussed
look
the
at.
sidewalk
no one
list,
does
if you will, that needs to be reviewed.
Mhm.
We did discuss as you have mentioned, Selectman Hillman, in the past, the challenge will be getting them, because scheduling, but the use of inmates, sheriff's crews where possible. But at the end of the day, I think the takeaway from my perspective is that within, again, within reason, I mean, this winter definitely is abnormal, but within 48 to 72 hours to have that cleared out or significant progress. We also talked about having temporary snow staging areas, and those will be identified where they could just go in, move it out, temporary store, and move it forward. So there'll be something formal coming before the board. Those were sort of the takeaways from that meeting. And David did clarify, and I do want to clarify because some folks in the room were incorrect, that if you look at the bylaw, the sidewalks in front of any business are the responsibility of the business, and I'm not implying that the downtown businesses haven't done their part,
No, I
but
think
stress
the
that's sort of
sidewalks are
a
clear.
partnership, and they do that. I know a lot of them do that, but again, re-emphasizing that help. There was a woman from the bank, the facility, talking about that as well. So overall, there was frustration, and duly noted, but it was a good dialogue, I think, and those were the takeaways as the town administrator that I got from that meeting, and I do see a path that we can improve our operations on that, to at least to do even a better job. And final point that was, I think, a big frustration for a lot of the businesses downtown was that after that first major blizzard, and granted there were a whole week went by, that kept coming up, and I know members of this board has brought that concern to me as well. But that a more timely response, and I think there are some different things that we can do. So
Has there been issues in the past years, or has it been pretty consistent?
Well, I remember last year there was a big fuss, and everybody was here in the meeting, and there was a big fuss. The businesses were very, very upset, and it was actually worse as far as how downtown was handled. I thought visually worse last year than visually worse this year.
Well, I think there was a 2-week period or something that went before they cleaned,
Yeah.
which was...
Right.
And again, I'm pretty sure it was Valentine's Day, too, where it was an issue. And, these people down here, we tell them to move in, we'll support you. And, you don't clean snow downtown. You got a florist down there, you got restaurants down there for Valentine's Day, and people can't park, and they can't get to the stores to spend their money. And I understand the frustration. I mean,
I get the DPW this time. I mean, that was quite a long storm, so, and we had another one coming too, so I would have hate to see doing it again. But
well, that's why, a lot of discussion was toward contractors and getting someone from the outside to come in and
Which was
Just
touched
clean it up.
upon like a year ago as
Yeah.
a board. And
Mhm.
there was
Right.
too much fighting here on the board, and we didn't, we never came up to a decision. So I think that in the future, we gotta come up,
And that
all
was-
of us,
that-
and that's good that the businesses and the DPW talked, and then,
Well, I
know-
think they know that they need a plan.
yes, and I think
Yeah.
what this board will respectfully see in the FY16 request before is some kind of subcontracting component for the downtown. And there will not be issues with the union on that.
Acton has a
Right.
snow blower that attaches to the front of their
Yeah.
loader, where they literally just
I
drive
sent
down.
that out, I sent that out to Facebook, I didn't.
Yeah, and it's literally
Yeah.
just would run right down the
Yes.
curb, and then the truck is there just
Yes.
to blow it in.
You
And
can actually get an attachment to the sidewalk plow we have to do exactly the same
and,
thing.
and the skid steer too. So I know Mark is on looking into that too, so.
The other thing I didn't mention today, and, I don't know, there's been a bunch of communities that have used National Guard.
I was thinking of this the other
I
night.
mean,
so
they're,
are we
how far away are
eligible?
they?
Oh, that's a.
Do we need them? No, I'm asking,
Right.
I agree with you, because I thought of it too.
why
Like,
don't...
what is the
Why don't
criteria?
we at least do this?
Because I had brought
last
that
month?
up at the,
Why don't
at
we-
the
They're
first
usually kind
meeting.
of called up like I'm in a
Yeah.
severe state
Let's
of
just find
emergency.
out
No,
what-
I mean, they've been using them
They've
now.
been digging out hydrants and,
Let's
yeah.
find out what is involved.
There's been like,
Yeah,
I saw in the
Leominster's
news about
used them.
40 communities have used them.
Yeah, Leominster
Yeah.
has used
Yeah, they were
them.
digging out hydrants somewhere yesterday. I saw them.
But I just wanted, for the benefit of the board, because I think it was an important meeting on an important issue, and it was well attended, and I think that it was a good dialogue. So again, there'll be something more formal coming to this board out of that meeting.
Okay.
The second thing, just very briefly, under the administrative update, you have in your packet, as every year, and this is a draft in process, this is draft one, you sort of have the budget and annual town election meeting guide schedule that captivates sort of key dates and key benchmarks for various budget elements, town meeting elements between now and town meeting, which begins on May 11th, and the responsible party. And this will be updated weekly, and if you haven't already, take a look at it. If I missed something or edits or revisions, I would welcome that. I just wanted to point out a couple of key dates real quickly. The Water and Sewer Rate Review Committee is going to meet on March 2nd, and I'm talking with the town accountant at that meeting. The committee will be reviewing water and sewer rate recommendation models, and then this board will have to conduct a public hearing on that, which we'll probably schedule for the second meeting in March, but that we can discuss that. Next Wednesday, the 25th at 7 p.m., the Finance Committee is having Dr. Malone appear before them to discuss the FY16 school budget, and the chairman did extend an invitation if selectmen wanted to attend. Of course, you can attend in the audience, but if you wanted to attend in a joint meeting.
Is that, yeah, how
conference.
did we do that in the past? I thought we did that as a joint meeting, no?
We've done it
We've never really done it with the school coming to the finance committee.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've,
Yeah, I thought it
Right.
was,
I mean, you could post it, I guess, just in case.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
post it.
next Thursday.
That's next Wednesday at 7.
Okay.
The warrant, which you opened on the 3rd, the deadline for articles will be Friday, April 3rd. And I say the deadline, April 3rd. The warrant will close on April 17th, but I'm trying to get all the warrant articles using the new system in earlier for the 3rd. Citizens petitions will be due on April 17th at noon time, and Ms. Copeland has on the town clerk website, and we're going to put a town meeting webpage up, the form for that, and then the form for all other articles is available. So those are some key dates coming up. Also, the Personnel Board is ready to have the final presentation of the non-union personnel study.
We're gonna have to update it as soon
Yeah,
as we
they're
get
looking
it.
to
because
do it
it's-
at your meeting on the 3rd of March.
It's
So we
obsolete.
don't have to have another meeting. This would just be the presentation and an opportunity for you.
Are we gonna get some, like refunded for this? I mean, this was supposed to be a couple
Yeah,
month process.
we
and
have
This is
not-
not the town's fault or the finance
Right,
committee.
no,
or
we
something.
haven't, and we haven't,
What?
paid-
Yeah.
we haven't paid.
Oh,
for all-
okay.
We haven't paid for all of it.
Okay,
But
good.
we're looking at March 3rd. It'd be part of this board's meeting, the FinCom and Personnel Board, to do it so you don't have to set up another meeting.
And that's for the non-union personnel?
Non-union,
Okay.
yep. And then the Personnel Board is required, they will hold a public hearing on it in March, and I'm waiting on the date for that. But they are anticipating to put forth a warrant article for consideration at the Springtown meeting on the non-union compensation project. So anyway, this will continue to update, and feel free to, it's in a working draft form, if you see anything to let me know on that. But the budget process is well underway. I think that some of the things that are beyond our control to an extent, the regional schools will certify their budget the second week of March. It's accelerated this year because Shirley's
Shirley
town
decided
meeting.
to-
And the governor's budget has yet to come out, probably the beginning of March, and we all know, with all due respect, it's the legislative budget that really is the more accurate benchmark. We are anticipating cuts in local aid, as if you just follow what's going on, but we are fortunate in that Ayer is not largely reliant on local aid, but it is still a loss in revenue. The health insurance is a considerable increase, and the IAC will be meeting the end of this month, the Insurance Advisory Committee, on that. The deficit spending for the snow, of course, impacts the free cash, and so, not trying to paint a doom and gloom picture, but I just want to, because often what gets out there is, oh, the town of Ayer, and this is a testament, the town has $1.2 million in certified free cash, and it's the land of lollipops and unicorns, and we've got all this money.
We were planning that tonight.
Right, but then when you begin to look at the cost of operating the government and some of these fixed costs, and we're still working on the energy costs and so forth.
Absolutely. It takes one
Right.
lawsuit or one change in
Right.
health insurance or
Oh,
to
yeah.
really.
So it's
Make
not,
that-
we're in good shape,
No,
as we
absolutely,
discussed
but-
at the executive buy board, but I just, it's important, I think, that we do see some challenges, but it's a process, so it's well underway. So, again, and you're all involved in in various forms of the budget process, and so, that's most appreciated. The next item, I'm respectfully requesting, with the sudden and recent passing of ZBA member Mr. Howard Hall, I'm respectfully recommending that the Ayer Board of Selectmen appoint Mr. Michael Gibbons, who is currently serving as an alternate ZBA member, as a full member of the Ayer Zoning Board of Appeals, to finish out the unexpired 3-year term of Mr. Hall, effective upon appointment to June 30th of 2017. Upon your appointment of Mr. Gibbons, the town will advertise the 2 vacancies for alternate ZBA members.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I just want to give kudos to Carly, who's been working with the zoning board stuff. I mean, you've done a great job from everybody I've talked to.
Yeah, no, I've heard that too. So
And,
we'll let all the other stuff slide.
Just tonight, just tonight.
yeah,
No, actually, Jeremy's made a point, and as you
Yeah.
know, and to mention this, so thank you.
She really has. She's done a
Yeah.
great job. Item number 3, the planning board vacancy was advertised at the request of the planning board, and there were no applicants. So that's the update at this time.
I think you guys called that one, and I agreed with you at the time. that-
Again,
that,
I will
hey,
talk
it's
to
worth a shot, right?
I'll talk to Mr. Callahan as to how he wants to proceed, but we're coming up on the election pretty quick.
I think he said to wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
I
wait.
think-
and-
Okay, they're gonna
and-
wait.
And Miss Gibbons is up also, right? Wasn't that just a
Yeah.
temporary
Yes.
appointment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's running.
Yeah,
yeah.
3,
Yeah, I know
okay.
she's running, but I
Rick-
don't know if
Rick-
we've heard
Rick
the
Roper's
other
up again?
two, or
yeah.
Are they
So-
running?
So folks who are interested
Don't know.
in running, the last day for nomination papers is March 6th from the town clerk, and they're due back March 9th at the town clerk. So, yeah, the Miss Gibbons' seat is up. There's the vacancy.
Rick
And
Roper's
Mr.
seat.
Roper's seat is up as well. And if elected per town meeting now, these will begin to be the 3-year terms as opposed to the 5-year.
Mhm.
Because I remember citizens petition at town meetings, that what you're talking about? To remove the whole 5-year,
Once the term was complete.
once the term was complete.
Yeah.
So, okay, because I was going to ask about that. I thought we had to make sure that there was something else, so it just disappears?
Right, so as folks are elected to new seats, there'll be
Right.
3 years instead of 5 years per town meeting.
Okay, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure, I thought there was another follow-up we had to do, but,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
The next item in the packet is a memo on the town hall windows replacement project update, and this was at a request of this board on
Historical Society again.
February 3rd.
I was thinking that when they kept saying
And,
that.
I know.
If I may, the board is well-versed in the dilemma that the town has continued to face in getting the approval from Mass Historic to proceed, and the issue was that they must be constructed primarily of native materials or native wood in order to meet the provisions of the town's historic preservation restriction, which is on the Ayer Town Hall. In addition to that obstacle, a new one presented itself recently as Mr. Sherman and I were working with Renewal by Anderson, who was the awarded contractor, to see if we could do something with the composite of the windows. And this is including the owner of Renewal by Anderson insisted that the town pay a significant monetary deposit up front before they would commence with any of the work. And in the private sector, in your own households, this is common practice. You put down a deposit for a work and it's done. However, under Mass General Law and the Department of Revenue, this is due to, in the town of Ashby, they fronted the money for a fire pumper truck that never arrived. Municipalities cannot, and I consulted with Mr. Bree, who just to verify, municipalities cannot pay funds forward for goods or services. So in efforts to
That all can't either.
so in efforts to explain this to Renewal by Anderson and to work on a solution, they have effectively withdrawn their bid from the project, which is unfortunate.
Weren't they the only ones that could replicate
Yes.
the windows upstairs?
Yes.
Oh, good.
So this is what I'm going to propose. This is what I'm proposing.
Used to
anyway.
storm windows, Gary.
No, in light of the above mentioned, in light of the above mentioned, and the above mentioned being this composite issue with Mass Historic and the fact that Anderson has withdrawn, I'm proposing that the town rebid the project, only this time fully incorporating the historic preservation restriction. In other words, make the restriction Appendix A of the RFP.
Correct.
So that the respondents to the RFP will provide solutions that are compatible with Mass Historic. That was in there before, but it was just as a sentence. I'm talking clear as day as an appendix.
What the guidelines are.
2, prior to issuing the RFP, the town will have the Mass Historic Commission review and approve the RFP.
Is composite wood, it can be used, correct? It's just the mixture of it?
Correct.
Okay,
And
yes, we don't want to use all
so
wood.
that-
No, we use it in the Pleasant Street School.
Yeah.
Correct. So that ties into sort of number 2. In other words, Mass Historic, and this is not a lot of work because most of it's there. It's just, here is our RFP. Before we do it, please review, approve, thoughts. 3, upon rebidding of the project, the town will receive proposals, this is the goal, that are compatible and in compliance with the Mass Historic Commission. The caveat, of course, will be what are the new costs? And we don't know that yet. And that's the most frustrating thing about the Renewal by Anderson proposal that made it so great was the cost.
Well, they wanted to use this as a centerpiece, too.
Right.
So maybe we can float that as a...
4th, the funding
To other
approved for the
companies.
windows by town meeting does not have a sunset clause, and that funding will remain
Good.
available. Our goal will be to match that funding, meaning to get as close to that price, but there is a likelihood that the new solution may require additional funding from town meeting.
It's a certainty.
It's probably a certainty.
Yeah.
If, with your approval, well, I'll get to it in a minute, if you approve this plan tonight, we can be in a position, though, for this to be put before the voters this spring. And that, so 5, with the approval of this plan, we can rebid and procure this project and have all of the information, including any additional funding needed in time for consideration on the spring 2015 ATM warrant. And I just want to add, Mr. Chair, if I could, I know that this has been a very frustrating and unfortunate situation, especially since the town followed all of the guidelines and had a great project in place and submitted it to Mass Historic, because under their guidelines, you have to have a procured project before you can submit it to them. And they will not approve. I know that some have suggested, and many have felt this way, that the town should just do the project. However, that would be in violation of our historic preservation restriction and would open the town and the board to legal action and other costly implications. Additionally, in consultation with town council, they strongly advise that the Board of Selectmen do not proceed with the project without Mass Historic's approval.
That's a shock.
But as much as some would like to, it's the responsible and prudent thing. Finally, I do want to express my appreciation to Mr. Sherman.
I agree.
For his continued work and due diligence
I
with
agree
this
with it.
important project, because he has spent countless hours when we began on this, working on the technical scope, and then on ways to try to make this project happen. And he and I share the same level of frustration. However, I don't think that obviously, we don't give up in Ayer, so I'm recommending that the board, you don't have to take a formal vote, but approve this plan, and let's see what we can get for the annual town meeting.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the plan outlined by Robert in the memorandum dated February 12, 2015, with the 5 points outlined in the memo.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Janice?
Aye.
Chair says aye, and this is something we can get rolling.
Yeah,
Soon?
I actually already have it all pulled out, so.
All right, great.
I'll keep the board updated. The next memo was asked about the DPW, the GPS pilot program, or the test program. And this is the update on that. If the board recalls, we were going to implement the use of GPS transponders in DPW vehicles to test the effectiveness of them in terms of the information and so forth. Superintendent and I did meet with the DPW union to discuss the implementation of this program. That was a positive meeting.
Because it's not a change in working conditions.
Right, it's not a change.
So that's why it was positive.
Well, yeah, but it still had to meet, but on this, the GPS transponder from the wastewater tanker truck that had been on there has been moved to the highway foreman's truck. That was done a couple months ago when we no longer were using the tanker truck at this time. The superintendent is
'Cause the guy
prepared
quit.
to order additional GPS transponders for the other division vehicles, but the company that the GPS that we use, though that he wants to use, only accepts credit cards, and the town does not have credit card, and it would be inappropriate for him to use his personal credit card to do it. So Ms. Gabri and I the town accountant and I are looking
bank check
into
or bank, I mean,
a resolution of this. Yeah, it's.
I mean, as a business owner, when someone hands me a credit card, I say, great, I'm gonna get paid. Oh, great, now I have to pay the finance charge. And,
Yeah.
you know, we all know that
Yeah.
and it can be substantial if the price is high too, so, that's interesting.
We should have that resolved within the week, Lisa and I, in terms of the
Okay.
payment method.
Because I wasn't here at the meeting in October where this was discussed and approved. So there's my understanding it was first study, and you keep throwing me when you say the word program. So
Okay.
is it this two different words but meaning the same thing?
To Selectmen Livingston, let's call it pilot study. I keep saying
Okay,
program
okay.
study, but it's really to study the GPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that in the October 14th meeting, it had been mentioned about a cost and everything, but I don't know where would the money be coming from to pay for these GPSs whenever we figure out how to do that.
The estimated cost would be $7,000,
Right.
and the funding for that, per the superintendent, was coming from funding in the DPW administrative budget
Okay.
that was either in excess or left over.
Okay.
So we will resolve this within the week and implement into the other vehicles, and then I think.
Who's gonna monitor it? Cindy? Is it Mark? I mean,
Mark
I think I'd like some outside.
I think Mark, I think Cindy, the
Okay.
chiefs.
Yeah.
And we'll do a report. I think they wanted to track it for 3 months.
Yeah, I thought that was the plan. Janice?
Yeah.
Well, that brings up another question. So the 7,000 was for the GPS, but what about, isn't there like a software that would need to be?
That's
That's
included.
included in the
Yeah.
7,000? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then hopefully everybody knows how to read it, whoever is going to read it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's where
And then you're gonna,
Cindy
and
comes
then
in
once,
probably.
A presentation.
once
Cindy.
then a presentation
Cindy
comes
meet.
back,
So
and
we-
then we decide if
The
it's a
program
good
we have,
idea.
it's so
or not.
easy.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Thank you.
Littleton has too.
Yeah.
It's very.
That's
Thank
all,
you.
on the scanners.
Okay.
My delivery house has
Um,
that too. I'm just getting off the exit right now.
The next item,
The-
I know we talked about, I know some members may not have been here, the town grant writer
on the
proposal update, and you have the memo in your packet, so not to belabor the point. We're just waiting for the replacement at Mass Development so we can finish the conversation.
On a bunch of things. That,
Right,
the
that,
sewer,
the
yeah.
sewer thing, a whole bunch of things. Right now, the accountant, or I guess the CFO up there, is sort of in quote in charge, but he doesn't have any authority, it's a day-to-day thing. So we're waiting for who the replacement.
Any word on that, Gary? Has it just been?
Will be
It's supposed to be named
named.
today.
Yeah, it was, actually today.
Was there just was it a bag job, or was it actually candidates interviewed, or?
No, it was probably a big job.
Yeah.
So,
I'm shocked.
it's a hack, I'm sure.
But on the grant writer, as we did do the due diligence, the cost benefit to the town just wasn't there at this time. But we definitely will pursue with Mass Development. I would hope that Mr. Ramirez's successor would be in the same spirit that he was, that with applicable projects, that person.
Well, how I understood it from, it was, I think it might have been Sheila, was that was kind of part of the agreement up there. They, the grant writer was theirs, but it was open to the communities that Devon's really, that owns Devon's. And that wasn't offered to us, but it certainly should be. Obviously, unless we're going after the same project, but.
Thomas, Thatcher Keyser III, former mayor of Amesbury.
Former mayor of Amesbury.
I know him. That's who was appointed?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was
Yeah.
the name? Thatcher.
Thatcher Keyser.
Oh, former mayor.
Yeah. He actually lost his re-election by 1 vote.
Oh, that's tough.
It was a
Really?
big recount, yeah.
Ooh.
It just goes to show you when.
His wife didn't vote.
Yeah. That was a family member, exactly.
He's actually a very good
That would
guy.
definitely be what happened in my case.
He's a good guy.
Five
All right,
family
so
members.
All right,
then
good.
we'll pursue. He's a very capable and.
Well, and the thing with
guy.
George is he got his lawyer hat on and he'd start talking, and by the time he was done talking, you didn't know what you were
Thatcher
talking
is
about.
not a
All right,
lawyer.
good.
The next item, I met after the board last met on the 3rd. I met at length with the building commissioner. about-
Gabe's not coming tonight?
Unfortunately, he couldn't
Okay.
be here tonight, and I do want to also just thank the building commissioner in the sense that, as I notified the board, but for the public's benefit, he has been monitoring all of the school and municipal roofs. And,
Yeah, I was there on
and the
Friday
high school
for a
and
thing,
Page
and they had mentioned
Hilltop
that Gabe was
are
up
in good
with
shape.
Mark.
There's no concerns up there. They're still monitoring that. The police station roof was cleared off by Mr. Sherman because it needed to be. There was some concerns there. The fire department, the fire station, they borrowed the cherry picker from Devon's to remove a small glacier that was coming off of the gutter. And
Mr.
then-
Moore has been having
Yeah.
to do, Mr. Flagg's been out here helping Calvin
Yep.
a couple of mornings, early mornings last week, just breaking icicles down as he goes down the road.
And then
It's-
in this building,
it's tough.
unfortunately, in both of the eaves on both sides, especially this one that gets no light,
Mhm.
the ice damming was leaking, but Mr. Sherman has that under control. We're watching this one. It's just too dangerous to get up there.
Yeah.
But I just, again, between Chief Pedrazi, Gabe, and Dan, they have been doing a lot of due diligence on these roofs. We've been lucky that it hasn't rained or been super wet snow, but just so the public knows, as of today, all of the public buildings, as they were before.
Thank
are in
God,
good
nobody
shape.
else in town is having any issues either. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
we've been-
dangerous.
We've been
I know.
Yeah,
fortunate.
yeah, if you do have huge icicles,
I saw some that were down to the ground today, and I said, how is that not
yeah.
training in their house? But
I know.
So, I met with the building commissioner and we, at length, and discussed this perennial issue that the board wants resolved, that there's been 2 years of funding. There's $70,000 was appropriated last year and then again this year for the building department. And the goal, as I've said to Gabe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the goal is that the board wants increased coverage for the building department. And as we looked at it, that increased coverage is largely in the morning. I mean, almost all of the contractors come in the morning. The second piece is this board,
twice a week.
along with the Board of Health and the chiefs, has made a commitment to zoning enforcement and to property enforcement. So what Gabe has put forward in his memo is a proposal that we would like to, subject to your approval, and it can be, we can adjust some of it if the board feels fit, to implement, because the funding is in place, to implement the following proposal. So what we're proposing is an administrative assistant that would be responsible for the data entry of permits, receiving new permit application packages, making an initial review of the package to make sure everything's there, answering calls and booking inspection appointments. Because right now, when Gabe isn't there, you get his answering machine and you can't leave a message because of a statutory time requirement for response, giving out forms and dealing with walk-ins and filing. And he's proposing that this individual would work Mondays and Wednesdays, 8 a.m. to 12 noon, Tuesdays, 8 a.m. To 10 a.m. The salary proposed would be $12 to $15 an hour for a total, it would be $7,800 a year at $15 an hour. And we can come back to that. Let me just finish the proposal, because the second piece would be an assistant zoning enforcement officer, or an AZE. The assistant zoning officer would be authorized and responsible for the enforcement of the town of Ayer's bylaws.
Which would include shoveling sidewalks, I would assume, as Mary brought up?
Yeah.
And other things like that?
Yeah, it would be all of the town's bylaws and the town's zoning. The enforcement officer would report to and work under the direct supervision of the building commissioner. The commissioner will assign complaints to the enforcement officer for investigation. After investigation, the enforcement officer will report their findings to the commissioner for review. Once approved by the commissioner, the enforcement officer will move forward on any appropriate zoning, and it should say, or bylaw enforcement action. Schedule, we're recommending that this should be a 15-hour per week position. However, once brought up to date, the officer will be working on an as-needed basis. And in Gabe's opinion, this could drop down to around 10 to 12 hours per week, but I said to him it probably could stay at 15 hours a week, or maybe bump up at least to the minimum where it doesn't become full-time benefited. The officer initially would work on Tuesdays and Thursdays mornings so as to have direct supervision and access to the commissioner. The amount of hours and time of day for investigations will vary depending on the type of complaint. Some complaints may need investigation work at night. And in his research, he's proposing a salary of $20 to $25 an hour, and that would come to $19,500 a year at the $25 hour rate in 15 hours a week.
And you have to be a jerk to do this position.
That's actually what the commissioner said.
Yeah, I'll
You
do
couldn't
it.
have it?
I was going to say, I wish I could.
So what we're proposing,
I'd be good at this position.
because the funding is in place now, and everything is subject to, so there's funding at least through June 30th. The funding request has been also put in for FY16, meaning again, so for the third year. But this proposal, if you will, because we tried the assistant building inspector route and got nowhere and couldn't get candidates. In this, you would have the admin support and increased coverage and the zoning component, and we can obviously tweak this.
I would think that this
more.
could possibly morph into assistant building inspector down the road. I mean, once there's, training and whatnot, the assistant zoning officer,
Yeah.
to kind of cover that. Okay?
I know you're not done probably, right?
No, that's it in a nutshell.
Are these union positions?
Yes,
Yeah, they would have to be, right?
they would have to be. They would be non-benefited, but they would be union. The admin and they would be union.
Okay, I'm just a little reluctant that there's not enough administrative assistant work.
We can increase that.
That-
It's first, the hours?
Yes.
What-
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
You mean increase the
that-
hours of the,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because for one thing, 8 AM to 12, that might be fine, but
Yeah.
this 8 AM to 10 AM.
Yeah.
And plus 2 other days not covered.
What
Two
it,
other
yeah,
days not
see,
covered, but not only that, who's gonna wanna come in for the 2 hours?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
you're not
I-
gonna get anybody who's willing to come in for just
In
those
my
2
opinion,
hours.
that's one of the biggest things, like for a small company like me, when it's Tuesday, Thursday, if I'm going to the city that day and I need to pull a permit, it's impossible for me to get here at 10:30. And Gabe's pretty flexible. If you give him a call, he'll wait. I mean, he is good like
He's
that. but-
flexible on
Right.
this, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman. This was just his proposal.
No, I
His
agree with
room
Gary and
increased
Janice on
that.
this.
No, just keep it under 20 hours, I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you still could, yeah.
But if you could come in on a Wednesday and pull a permit, and get the ball rolling, that certainly makes life a whole lot
There
easier.
should be
for
a
us.
in the
Yeah.
Friday, there should be a Friday. in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I'm sorry, through the chair.
Yeah, I mean, this needs to be tweaked, but I
Yeah.
kind of agree with everything he's looking for here.
Now,
I'm-
when, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
For this data entry of permits, now if somebody's permit is submitting the permit online, what exactly, like myself would ask what kind of data entry of permits would be needed? Are you saying like just a logbook, I'm logging this in? I mean, I guess
Yeah.
I'm getting into the weeds right
No,
now.
no, but it's a good question, because right now it would actually be the data entry of the permits. As you know, we're going to the online permitting system.
Right.
That bridge has yet to come. I'm sure there'll be some aspect to that. some
Right, I mean, I
component.
could
Yeah.
see where there would like be at least some type of a logbook.
Well, yeah, what happens too is you fill them out, like you do Westford's, and then they'll add up and they'll look into it and say, oh, let's email you back. Well, actually, you owe us $107 more
Right.
on the permit, or so they're pretty good at that. So there is some figuring out, because some of these permits sometimes are confusing on exactly what,
But at least we're gonna provide a service.
Right.
Correct,
correct.
yes,
Yes.
There's gotta be nothing worse than coming in here and finding nobody.
right.
Yeah, and it's a
Before-
timing thing. And
Yeah, David would do his best before, now Cindy, but when things taped to the doors,
It's
Yeah, and-
ridiculous.
And he's good. Like, you go in there, like, I've been pulling permits recently with him. He's like, there's all sorts of things going on there with Gabe. I mean, the phone's ringing, he's setting appointments, he's, looking at plans, he's trying to talk to people. People are asking questions. I mean, he definitely needs
It's
some help.
embarrassing not to have the coverage, though.
I agree. I mean, for this
And I'm
town.
not saying anything bad about Great Gabe. but-
No, it has
No.
nothing to do with Gabe.
No, and I agree, I think the schedule for the administrative assistant needs to be bumped up a little bit.
And we can tweak this, obviously, too.
Right.
I mean, we
yeah.
can have
Yeah.
Gabe in here and come up with a perfect plan, but
yeah.
we need to make it, and like you said, if we can push the online stuff, where maybe this person comes in and reviews all the online permits, and then
Right.
gets that, yeah. I think that this could go places.
It's definitely better than what we have and what we've been trying to put
Exactly,
through.
and
So-
maybe this time we'll actually get results.
And maybe we can start utilizing Mr. Bernie or Orphan Littleton occasionally here and there, too. I mean, I know Gabe's doing a lot over there now. I mean, something we could,
So, what do you need?
yeah.
I would respectfully be looking for the board, excuse me,
The
the
board?
board.
Whatever you want to call us.
Vorda?
The board to vote to authorize the building department staffing proposal.
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair says aye.
As long as you tweak it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
and I guess my only concern is, like I said before, the 15 hours, 10 hours, it's kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who has availability on that.
I even told them there's got to be a Friday with the administrative.
yeah, and we've kind of discussed that before, but for some reason, we all keep banging heads on that issue.
All right, so with your vote, your approval, I'll just notify the union, then we'll move forward with
Can I
that.
apply for the zoning officer?
If you'd like.
All right,
Yeah, you would fit perfect.
I know.
Okay. And then lastly, and I appreciate your patience, long report tonight.
Miserable.
Was that
In
was
your
that a
packet,
compliment?
Yes, it
you
was.
have the town hall lighting retrofit proposal that had been requested, and Mr. Sherman had put this together, and it was, for the record, due to the snowstorms were delayed, but for the record, Dan is always on time, January 26th.
I didn't think it took him that long to get it, actually,
Yeah,
myself,
I know,
but.
he didn't. So if you look at the first page, where it says lighting energy cost savings proposal, and this would be to convert all of these to LED. According to Prism, and Prism is a very good company we've used.
Yes, and just to interject,
Yeah.
I vetted this through my electrician, who I trust incredibly, used to do schools, and he read it and said that not only did it look great, but he said these guys are top notch to work with. They're a very thorough company too, so that was good to hear. Because I have no idea, so I didn't know if it was, what we were getting.
So you can save, on their analysis, approximately $4,303 every year on your utility bills. And while the upgrades are valued at $37,717, your contribution would be $30,357, thanks to an estimated $7,360 efficiency incentive. And then there's some additional savings, a significant cost savings on your electric bill each year, as I just mentioned, about $4,300.
Significant,
The
yeah.
state-of-the-art lighting, a capital improvement at a discount. The estimated avoid maintenance savings is about $1,466 in avoided maintenance. And again, the conversion would have no interruption as far as the operation of the building. So this proposal is before you. The Energy Committee had to cancel twice because of storms. They're meeting Thursday to just take a look at it, as well as they do. So again, there is no funding in the FY15 budget for this, but this is something that could be funded for FY16.
Yes?
So, I just want to clarify here. So, if this is approved, everyone goes for it and everything like that. So, basically, it would cost the town a little over $30,000. But we'd basically get it back. It would take a few years, but we would get it back.
6.7
With those-
years.
Yeah.
6.7 years.
So, and I just kind of want to clarify that because I know you said you're going to have.
And
Energy
these
Committee
bulbs
look
tend to
at it.
last 25 to 30 years,
Right.
before we have any
We'll be
issues.
dead.
So,
Well,
Well, you will.
I will anyway.
I'm young. I'm living.
Yeah,
But also keep in mind, the annual energy is not based on any huge upheavals and costs and stuff too. So I mean, that energy savings could be higher than that. And
Right.
then it's
This
just
is
money
a
in our
snapshot.
pockets.
Right,
It's a-
and then, I mean, you add in the simple thing of, the turning up the lights, which everyone does anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, the money in our pocket after
Oh, I
it
just
is,
Looked right into that light.
yeah, those are bright. Maybe we can get some dimmer switches. And this is why I've been trying to get the schools and the fire and the police to start looking at this too. I think some of them, actually the schools, the new high school, I think is completely on board with the LED, but
Yeah, it's all LED.
Yeah,
LED,
yeah, it looks
the new-
good.
the new
Yeah.
part.
I think it makes sense. I mean, when I initially looked at it, I said, wow, that seems expensive for light bulbs. But then when I vetted it, everybody said it looked great. And these guys are apparently top notch.
sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's an investment to get money back and save money moving along.
So
No.
we're going to.
Especially with our drafty windows,
The
we're
Energy
gonna make it up
Committee's
somewhere.
gonna meet on Thursday and see if we can also use some of the Green Communities Grant Fund on this or incorporate it. That would reduce it some more.
Mhm.
And like I said, it'd have to be put in the budget if the board chooses.
So we're looking for-
Yeah, for July 1st, FY16.
Seems reasonable now.
So I don't think any action is needed right now. I mean, we're going to meet Thursday and then we can
So you want to bring it back to us to vote on it
yeah,
final?
on the 3rd, yeah.
Okay.
Have we heard anything on streetlights?
Yes.
Good question, yeah.
That's on Thursday, the meeting at 10. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so the street lights, the solar field development, and this were the three.
And I can't imagine what the streetlight savings would be if we did the entire town. Could be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark's been working with the MRPC.
And they're so
on-
much
on
brighter
that.
too.
Yeah, I
God,
know it.
brighter.
Yeah.
Groton has them, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
everybody
Littleton.
around has them.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Shirley has them. Is that it, Robert?
Yeah, and then lastly, we actually were able to get some grant funding to do this, the retrofit at the police station lighting. We just found that out today. That's-
Oh, so they're going to be LED now too?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
much
great.
smaller than this. It's about I think it's a $6,862 project, lot less lights.
Yeah.
But that was good news that we got today.
Good.
So,
Just a quick question. I'm sorry, let you go. I don't want to get.
oh,
There's a couple lights I had mentioned to you and I forgot, and I think I forgot to tell you.
okay.
There's one aiming at Calvin's old gas station that's on a pole that just aims into the woods. It's on at night. Very
Down
bright
there, okay.
halo light.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that aim into the Devon's Plaza. Are we
Yes.
ponying that up?
Yeah.
Are we ponying the bill on that or?
Oh,
Let's find out.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I brought it up or not, but.
Yeah.
Because I remember us talking about the Devon's Plaza.
Well, we were talking about lights, yeah.
Yeah.
We did, but we never got an answer.
But the one, it looks like it's been there since the gas station was there, but it's lit up. I just would like to know, I don't want to be.
We'll find out.
I don't want to be paying for them. Right.
Yeah.
So is there, I don't know if there's a way to
No,
track
let's
down the
find
poll
out
number
because
and.
I would like-
I have a feeling we are. I mean,
I would really, I mean, not to get off topic, but the Devon's Plaza needs their own parking lot lights and a whole bunch of
correct,
other.
and
That's
by
for
code,
another
and by
time.
code they should.
Yeah, and Gabe and I have also talked about that, and I think we're gonna go to the planning board on that as well.
Great. Please do.
So
Kind of shaking.
thank you for your patience, that concludes my agended report.
All right. Everything looks good. Thanks for all that stuff I threw on there a couple weeks ago, but thanks for catching up on it. And I'm sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a selectman question? Not a question. I just want to thank Celia Journet for who's been working here in the assessor's office. Today's her last day. I just want to thank her for her service. She's going to Littleton, I believe,
Yep.
in the same
Keep
position.
purging all our people. Honestly, I missed that.
What are you doing?
Thanks, Celia, for,
Yes, she applied for an opportunity in Littleton that fit her needs and her goals, so today was her last day, and she starts there next week. We advertised internally already, and today we commenced with the external application process to fill that position.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gary.
no, and, good.
No, I agree. I second what you said, though.
Yeah.
And
Good, very knowledgeable.
And John Bishop knew about the hiring of mass development, but he didn't say a word. He just sat there. He wrote the article in the Lowell Sun.
really?
Thanks a lot, John.
Thanks for sharing.
Thanks, John.
Board bites back
Yeah.
in press.
Yeah. Please feel free to write a story about the MBTA and how annoyed the Board of Selectmen are tomorrow, too. Conservation, there's nothing we can, we're kind of out of that loop until they bring someone forward, correct? To replace Becky?
Yeah,
I mean, but we're gonna need
so-
somebody. Right
so-
now, it's a little slow, but in
Yeah.
the spring, we're gonna need a.
So this is-
well,
administrator,
still
right?
got somebody filling in.
Well,
We have a
what's
temp?
been happening is the clerk of the board, Jess
Mm-hmm.
Guaglino, has been checking the phone messages in the mail. I mean, it is sort of a dead time conservation, and I have, and my assistant can attest, not for lack of trying, to the chairman was supposed to get me the job description, and we still, and the union is aware of what Jess is doing, and they don't object. But
Prefer.
we do need to fill that position ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
So
especially
will-
with the spring.
and Jess has been helping me trying to follow up with Bill on that, because we could just advertise it internally for 5 days per the contract, and then externally.
Right.
And if they can, I mean, I'm assuming there's a sunset on that, much like the planning board, right? If it's not heard or whatever for so
Yeah,
long,
there are
they just kind
statutory
of bypass
deadlines
that,
on
right?
some of the
Probably?
conservation stuff.
Well, it is, yeah, kind of the same, open the public hearing
Mhm.
type of thing. So they could technically open a public hearing and then just, I would think they would just explain to the applicant. I mean, now they're golden because there's 8,000 feet of snow on the ground. But basically,
Be gone in April, though.
they could continue and continue and continue, or try to get a fill-in from another town
It's in the mud.
while we're waiting to get the position.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right, there are some statutory.
Okay, so that's something we need
I
to,
will convey to him tomorrow that the board asked me publicly, and let's get this rolling,
sure.
because April will come soon. I know it doesn't seem that way, but it will.
You know what? I said this to someone yesterday. This could be much worse. This could have started in November.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we were lucky that it started the last week of January. I mean,
Yeah,
there's light at the
yeah.
end of the tunnel here now. It's light past 5 o'clock.
Hard to see the light with all the snow, but I guess
I can say just, as far as the post office, I mean, if it snows the beginning of December and it gets cold like this, you get ice under all that snow
Oh, it's awful.
for 3 months.
Yep.
And walking in it, I mean, these guys, they do a good job, and they're about had it with
No, they've,
why they're out there. doing-
they have done a good job. Our mail has shown up, and I told you, your mailbox, one of the
Yes,
pickup boxes
I
was about.
appreciate that.
Mr. Kennard came through and helped you guys out, because it was
Yeah.
about 9 feet from the curb, and
Yeah.
he was schlepping over it every day, so I give Garrett credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
Good
Is
minute.
that it?
A
Minutes?
Make a motion to approve the,
I'm sorry?
oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, I had called Carly this afternoon because I realized, and I apologized to her that I didn't get hold of her sooner, but on the February 3rd meeting minute, we actually had, I believe that was the night we had the moment of silence for
Mr.
Howard.
Yes.
Mr. Howell. And that is not in this draft that's in our packet.
So I added it.
All right, so we can just amend that? It's just a amended meeting,
Yeah.
approve the amended.
Yeah.
Can I just peek?
Yep, of course.
Okay. Yeah. So now it's right in there, right after the call to order. Chairman Hillman asked for a moment of silence
Okay.
in remembrance of zoning board member Howard Hollow, who recently passed away. So this would be the one that we'd be recommending for approval.
Okay. I guess I'll make a motion to approve the, what were the minutes? February 3rd, 2015 minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah, sorry.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approved. And then, there you go, Gary. Thank you,
right.
Carly, that was perfect.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good meeting, everybody.